The quarter-final of the Carabao Cup is here, and we play Spurs away from home at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Now, of course, Postecoglou and his team, their form isn't really, in my opinion, the greatest of form, but they seem to be Spursy as they always are. They go and win against the likes of Manchester City, and convincingly at that, but then they lose to teams that they are expected to be winning, whether that be in Europe or in England itself. Now, of course, the most recent game they did win 5-0 against Southampton, but that is Southampton who basically just had their manager sacked. So we cannot say that in this game Spurs might turn up. Yes, the last time we played them, we did lose 3-0. That was at Old Trafford. It was under Eric Ten Hag, but it is still the same players. And that particular game might still be in the minds of our players, and it could easily haunt them or certainly shake their confidence. However, we did win against Manchester City, and that should have put in any type of confidence that we have missed into the players, because we should be confident after going away from home to arguably the best team in Europe and England, arguably. And now we're going away to a decent or a good Premier League team at that. We know their players, Son, Madison, Solanke. We know what they can do with those players when given space and time, and of course the opportunities as well. But for me, in this particular game, there is something that will overshadow the match squad, the starting 11, no matter how you look at it. Marcus Rashford, of course, it has come out that he basically said in an interview with Henry Winter that he's ready for a new challenge. It sounds like he is on his way out. We did put him up for sale. The club does want to move him on either in January if a suitable offer comes in, or at the end of the season, for the new season. And it is seen as a cultural move to try and have a cultural shift at Man United within the squad and the club as a whole. Now, I'm not saying that he should be out of the door and we should get rid of him. No, I kind of feel that he should be fighting for his place at Man United, like every player has done and should be doing. That is the standard, at least at Man United. But of course, 24 hours after he was dropped from the game for Manchester City, he certainly did not do himself any favors. I think it's quite selfish to come out and say you're basically giving up and you want to move on and play somewhere else. That's entirely up to him, but I think it is the wrong move. I think it is selfish, and this is the reality. We have to accept that Marcus Rashford, the club's number 10, will potentially be leaving Manchester United. This could be his last season, it could be his last few games before he leaves in January. We don't know what the future holds. And if he does turn around and end up staying at United and turn around his form, then we will celebrate that and definitely be supporting him. But the way it seems right now, very disappointing. Marcus Rashford is choosing to give up on Man United. That being said, for this particular game, the starting 11 that I think Ruben Amorim will go with, and I think he is still in his pre-season mode, trying players out in different positions. So I would go with Onana in goal simply because we are playing a good Premier League side. Any weaker opposition, maybe Bayern comes in to start. Maybe Amorim starts him, who knows, but I would go and start with Onana. I'd have De Ligt, Maguire, and Martinez. They were quite good against Manchester City, and Maguire certainly had a very good performance to put himself into the starting 11 for this game. And of course, it is the Carabao Cup, so why not? Maybe Lenioro gets a start if Amorim feels he is ready. That is also an option. Left wing back, I think Malacia comes in here again to try and get match fitness, match sharpness, and of course, to again try and stake a claim for that left wing back position, maybe as a backup, or if he performs well, as a starting left wing back. Right wing back, I think definitely he might give Anthony an opportunity there against Victoria Pilsen and against City. When he came on as a right wing back, we certainly had more energy on that side, and he did have a hand in helping us go on to win those games and come from behind. So I think Amorim will give him an opportunity at right wing back. Delo and Mazraoui, I think both need to be rested. Delo, mainly because of his form and because he's played so many games for Man United over the past few months. And of course, Mazraoui certainly didn't look too comfortable coming off against Manchester City, but again, maybe it does need a rest ahead of any games in the weekend, and you can bring them both on in the second half. In midfield, Casemiro and Ugarte, we need a bit of bite, a bit of energy, a bit of physicality, so play the two of them. And the three up front I would go with is Ahmad continuing in the number 10 side on the right hand side, Bruno on the left number 10, and Hoyland, of course, up front being the number 1 striker. That team, I think, is good enough to compete with Spurs, and certainly in the second half you can make certain changes to allow us to be a bit more dynamic, or of course bring on a bit of pace. If Garnacho is in the team, a Rashford is back in the team, etc., there is options from the bench that we can definitely use. And it is a cup game. Amarim can use this to try and get his first cup early in January or February, try and get into the Carabao Cup final, get a trophy under the belt, and then kick on from there. It is going to be a good game. There will be goals, but as always, I do hope that Manchester United and Ruben Amorim gets a win. Thanks for watching. If you want more content on Manchester United, like, share, and subscribe.